Guys, what's up? About to start another job. I told you about the doorway at the old Sears building. I have to do a cage type thing to keep them out. I already know what I'm gonna do. I already talked to my buddy, the steel guy, man. He's so cool. He's old. He's like 60, 65. He doesn't want to weld anymore. He gives me jobs. It's one of those two brothers I was talking about. He's the one that sold me the welder. He won't let me pay for. But I was out there, man. He's just one of these kind of guys, right? I'm out there and he's giving me ideas. He's like, look, you can have this steel, you can use this steel, you can, and I'll show you what I mean. And he had some the expanded metal, right? The grate. And I was like, yeah, I guess I'll just weld that on, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, nah, just do you have any taps? And I was like, nah, I can stop at the hardware store and get them. He's just like, he said, just use those. And then he's like, nah, I don't like going to the hardware store. So then he comes up with this big thing. Look, I need like 20 taps, bro. Maybe 30 at the most. He'd give me a whole thing full. He said, I don't like going to the hardware store. He said, do you have any anchors? And I was like, just go to the Lowe's and get them. And he's like, nah, he comes up with these anchors, right? I've never seen any like this. I've used all kinds of anchors, but we just always, bolted it in, or, I'd use the epoxy stuff to anchor it in. But he gave me these, right? And this is for a place where, these people got into stuff. If there's a star tool, they use a star tool. Somehow they got in. They used bolts, right? This is some kind of nail in thing, right? 1/4 inch. You pop that in the wall. He said, once you hammer that in, it's not coming out. They had to grind it off, right? Homeless people don't carry grinders, I don't think. Maybe they do. Shit, they should. You know what I mean? All right, before we get started though, guys, I want to show you some new stuff I got in the bag. First of all, if it's a work day, I've got my coffee with me. You see my cat? You know what it says? You are perfect, right? It ain't wrong. Alright guys, I want to show you some stuff I got in the bag. Dude said, I don't like going to I went to Lowe's anyway. He said, I don't like going to they tried to keep me from going to Lowe's. I said, fuck it, I'm going. So anyway, I went to Lowe's and got some stuff, guys. And what did I get? Here's what I like to do, guys. You know that I've started off cheap. I've started off small. I like to start with the cheapest thing. If immediately I don't like it, and that's why I like Harbor Freight. It's got a 90-day, and I always get the 1 year. Immediately in 90 days, if I don't like that shit, I'll know it. I work with this shit. I'll know it for sure. So I'm taking that bitch back and getting the next step up. Better, best, whatever good. I'll start with the good, right? Because sometimes you find that those good tools are pretty good, right? Like for instance, the little grinder that Warrior has. I probably won't step up to anything else until I go battery powered, because that little thing's awesome. You can hold it in one hand, and trust me guys, I'm safe. If I'm cutting, if I'm grinding something major, I've got a handle, I always got the guard on. But when I'm using a little flap disc, put my goggles on, I can hold that thing in one hand and just soften everything up on the edges and all that good stuff. So I like those little Warrior. And so what I like to do is start off with I just keep talking. I like to start off with the small shit, and then that way when I step up to the good stuff, I know that I need it, right? If I'm out and I'm doing something, it's like, man, I need something besides this. I immediately go get it and I get something better, right? For instance, guys, you see me on my knees, right? Like, I wear shorts. I can't handle the knees, so I've been using these skateboard pads, right? And these are great. They're sliding down metal ramps, even that smooth concrete, but they're just not good on crawling around on this rough ass concrete. And they're just supposed to protect you if you fall. Like one time, they're not comfortable. So what I did is I spent a few times using those, and I said fuck that, and I went to Lowe's and I got me some of these better, right? They're not best, they're better. Right? They had some best that looked like some kind of shit that helped you walk. It had like 2 pieces. What is this? Hydraulics? I don't know. But this has gel in it, supposedly. It feels like it does, right? So I'm good to go, man. Put this on, and you know what I really like about it? Is the clamps on the side, the hooks. They hook on real fast. It's efficient. It saves time. That other one, you got to go through the whole process. Go through the hoop, come back out. This is fast. So I got that. Now what else did I get? What else is in the bag, guys? I'm really excited about this one, because I was standing in line at the AutoZone the other day, right? I had to seal up get some gasket sealer or whatnot, do some work to the truck. I'm standing there and I see this universal socket, right? It's got the little bars in it that you can supposedly put over stuff. And it was $6.99. I picked it up and I was like, cool, that'd be cool. And then I thought, well, I can probably get it cheaper on Amazon. This is all cheap Chinese stuff anyway. So I went and got it for $5.35 on Prime. I saved like $3, guys. right? The funny part is I spent the time, right? Okay, so either way, I started looking at that and I was like, man, there's got to be some other tools out there that can replace, right? Because that's something you use in a hurry, right? Oh man, I just want to fucking put it in my drill, go ahead and see if I can get this bolt out. Cool, it's loose, I can pull it out. You know, you're gonna need, I got a ratchet set, you guys saw it. You're gonna need that shit for bigger stuff. I got the air tools back here for, you know, impacting. But I also, so I ordered one of those off Amazon, but I was at Lowe's and I've decided, guys, that I'm going to step up to Hercules eventually and have all blue stuff. I've got the, you guys have seen the saw, it's blue, it's Hercules. And then I've always liked cobalt stuff, right? You guys have seen the fuck it buckets. I've always carried this knife, or I had one other one, and the clip was better, and it pissed me off when they changed the clip, but I like the cobalt knife, loved it, had it since I did cable, right? I like cobalt stuff, so I'm going to go with cobalt tools and Hercules drills. And the main thing I'm going to have is a drill, a saw, and of course grinders. And I'm going to go battery powered one day, and that's what I'm going to do. And what's really going to be awesome is when I step up to that, I'm going to be excited about it. I'm going to be freaking, when you feel that, you know what I mean? You use something until you're like, you know what? My life is hard. I need to make it easier. I'm going to go get something better. And then you go grab that better thing. So I went and grabbed some of these too. Never used them. Self-adjusting wrenches, right? They got a little button on the side, okay? And these are cobalt, but boom. And it opens up. Look how wide that is, okay? Now look, it'll grab on to anything and it adjusts right here, right? I don't know how strong it is, but damn, son, I'm getting a grip. You know what I mean? And look, I got a little mini one, right? If I just need something small, real quick. I probably use this one a lot more than the big one, but they're there. Now look, in my mind, guys, this replaces this and this. Now, not for good, but don't say anything to the other buckets. I'm about to get a third bucket. Now, I hope you guys can hear me. Listen, I gotta get closer. I don't want the other buckets to hear, but I'm about to get a third bucket. Don't look at me crazy. I'm serious. Look, I know it's probably not allowed, it's probably illegal, but I'm going to get one, guys. I'm going to get a third one, and it's going to be the wrench bucket. It's going to have all my sockets, all my wrenches in it, because I got wrenches every freaking where. I don't have that. My other case fell apart for just the basic wrenches, right, and pliers and shit. I got tons of them. I got the middle version and the baby version of this. I've got like 3 more versions of this, right? They can all go in one bucket, and then if I need a particular wrench, like, oh, this one's not cutting it, right? This one's not cutting it, it's always here. I can go grab one of this out of the wrench bucket. It'll always be around. Maybe I don't take it to the job because I only got 2 hands and I only take the other 2 buckets, and I've got this in there, and I've got this in there, and some other tools that make my life easier, and then I fucking, you know, replace 2 tools with 1 tool. Good, life's easier now. And then, right, I do the work. And then if I need the wrench bucket, if it's a big job, oh shit, I said that too loud. If I need the wrench bucket, then I freaking go get the wrench bucket, right? And I bring it in there. I'm gonna have to introduce it slowly to the other 2 because you know how that goes. That ain't gonna sit too well. But the way I'm gonna convince them is say, hey, I can take a little weight off of you 2 and put it over here in this bucket, and then they'll be like, okay, so that guy will do the work. Most of the work, the heavy lifting. That was a B. All right, so guys, we got some work to do. I'm tired of standing around and talking to you all day, so we got to get this work started. I got this, you know, if I got the damn trailer open, it's serious. But let me show you something real quick. Let me see if we can just pick up the thing. Is it ever that easy? Look, guys. Now this is still a work in progress. You guys saw me weld that 1/4 inch angle that day when I was testing out the new welder. Well, that's on the bottom. I wanted to make it bottom heavy. This is 3/16 angle, and then this is 1/4 inch plate on the top. Now, this was before I got any kind of cutting apparatus, the torch or anything, and my other thing was down, so I cut this with a cutting wheel on a grinder. And you can get really good straight lines with that. If you can follow that line, your little fine line, I got really super straight lines. But anyway, that's my new welding table. Let me show you why I built it. Guys, you've all seen my old, let me get this stuff, some of this stuff. You've all seen my old, you know, a million times, the old Harbor Freight Special. I got it attached to the to the thing. It's welded. Look, it's rusting. But I got my welds on there, guys. Alright, so you guys have seen this. Now here's the problem. This smiley fucker. This is the problem. This asshole. Look at him. He's got his tongue up in the air. He's being a dick. He's always being a dick. He looks like that robot from the movie Robots. If you got a kid, you know what I mean. Alright. If you had a, well, 20. He's 20 now. Whatever. So these things are the problem. Right? These are the things that get in my way. Right here, if I've got some steel over here and I need to clamp it, if you go through this hole right here, you can see all that stuff is in the way. You can't get a clamp down under that and clamp on this. So I fixed that problem because mine is just square tube, and you can get any clamp under there, in there, and around there. It's got spaces all around it. There's going to be more. I'm going to put a welder under here, a backup welder. I'm looking for a Miller Thunderbolt, the big ones, the big transformer welders, the old Thunderbolts that do AC/DC, or actually a Hobart Stickmate, the old ones that does AC/DC. All right, here's something, guys, that I added on. Here is a little thing from the Dollar Tree, and it works out pretty well. I think I might have done a video on this, but I take my extension cord and put it over there so I don't have to bend over so much. So this is a work in progress. Got the foot long pneumatic shit, but we're trying to do a job today. Look, let me show you the steel I'm working with, guys. Check this out. It's a big old long 2-inch square tube, 1/8 inch thick. Look at it. It's rusty. Surface rust. Guys, this is what most of you guys would be embarrassed to use this. This is what you're telling me right now. This guy's got stuff like this all over his property. And if you look around here, man, in Florida, rust is gold, because that's all just surface rust. Now, you don't want a lot of pitting and shit like that. If the stuff had giant pits on it, you know, it would be cheaper. But this is pretty decent. And he charges me, I mean, he gave me a big old huge pile of steel for like 40 bucks. All of that, all of this. Let's walk over here, and you can see where I kind of keep my steel. Over here in the plant section, he gave me all that expanded metal right there. That's a big, huge stack of expanded metal. I don't know if you can see how many of those are, a bunch. And then I got some plate under there, a bunch of plate. I've got 1/4-inch plate coming out of the wazoo, and the guy just will be like, 20 bucks, it's whatever he feels like at the time, just super cheap. And then I'll end up giving him more, because then I don't want to feel like I'm robbing the guy. Anyway, don't mention that other bucket around these guys. Alright, dudes, I gotta get to work. I gotta cut these down. This one's already cut, but it's gonna be 85 and 5/8. No, wait, 86 and 5/8, and then 67 inches wide. Alright, let's do it. What to do. I know you didn't know, but I was so crazy about you. I felt so alone until you came along, and I will try to stay strong until you're gone. Yeah. You were the best years of my life, and we're only growing older. The best mother and wife a guy could ask for, and there's nobody else that I know that I wanna see grow old with me. Nobody we came upon 2 or 3 years, and it was so hard to go on from here. We both had to rediscover the reasons we had to have each other. And a love so strong would never leave us behind, but it's not always laughter, it's tears and compromise. Yeah. You were the best years of my life, and we're only growing older. The best mother and wife a guy could ask for, and there's nobody else that I know that I wanna see grow old with me. Followed you home with no idea what to do. Check it out, I got it all cleaned up. I've got 2 more bars to go down the middle, and then the expanded metal is going to go on the back, and I got some tabs to put on. Now this ain't ideal, but I mean, it is what it is. I got my ground on there. It's not ideal to be working off the ground like this, but I don't have a shop. I don't have a big table, so I'm going to go in with my square one side, weld it, square that, weld it, you know what I mean? Try to get as square as I can and as even as I can. This is going to be basically a throwaway item. I mean, straight up. Just a throwaway item, guys. Most of the stuff, I mean, as soon as they sell this building, they're going to turn into something, apartment buildings, whatever. As soon as they sell this property, that shit's going to be thrown in the scrapyard. They're going to take that building down. This piece of steel ain't going to be shit. They're never even going to go over there and look at it. They're just going to pay me. It's going to be painted black. Nobody cares what it looks like. Guys, have I told you? Oh, it's just going to go darker. Have I told you how much I love this little welder? I mean, look. The little ground, it's got to be close because the little ground, you know, I've got an extension over there, but I usually keep it kind of close. It's cool outside. Now, I had a comment from somebody that said this thing wouldn't run a 332nd 7018 very well, so what I'm going to do is weld one side of this at least with 7018. That way I know, hell, it'll hold against homeless people. I mean, have you seen homeless people, man? They're not very like super strong, you know. They're not out there just fucking bodybuilding on the side of the street and then all of a sudden they're gonna bust through a cage of steel. But anyway, that aside, I'm just doing it for fun. I'm gonna weld the rest of it 6011. You know, I like 6011, but I'm gonna take a couple swipes with the 7018 after I tag it up, see what it looks like, and I'll give you guys that view. Alright guys, I don't know what you got out of that, but I just welded up the whole sides with 7018 because I'm going to shave that down anyway. But I'm going to show you now. I do want you to keep in mind, let me grab one of these rods. Okay, These things are old, and they were sitting in my trailer when my trailer sprung a leak. Over the 6-7 months I just left it there and didn't open it. And these got rusted, these got wet, some of them got paint on them. So I want you to keep that in mind when you see not rough patches, but like porosity. It's because these motherfuckers are fucked up. Alright, and I'll show you where it's at. Now if there's any like just bad welding, that's on me, but the porosity is all right here. I mean, you guys know 7018's just picky as shit. You gotta have no rust or porosity. Mill scale porosity. If it's too hot, porosity. Too cold, porosity. Ooh, is there wind? Porosity. You got paint on your stick? Porosity. Is the sun out? Porosity. God damn, it's Tuesday. Porosity. Alright, dude, let's look at this. Alright, guys, here's the one closest to the ground. Let's see if I can get a little bit more. Hey, there we go. Here's the one closest to the ground there. And you can see there's a couple spots that got porosity. Right, may have missed some shit. Alright, over here. Here's actually a good one. Right, there's a good part of the stick. But you can see it'll do 7018, right? I'm not the best at 7018. My 7018 looks like 7011. I don't know what the, or 6011. I don't know what the hell happened there. Oh, shitting all over the place, right? I mean, I'm telling you guys, this shit's just a. Right, I went a little slower there, so obviously I did better, but I was trying to show you that it will weld 7018. Alright, and that's my 6011 down there. I haven't cleaned it off yet. Everything else will be done with 6011. I just enjoy it. 7018's alright. So basically, in other words, so basically this thing will weld a 6011 3/32, a 7018 3/32, and then a 6011 1/8. Get it? You guys want to see me do a 6011 1/8, don't you? I know you would. Let's do it. Only since it's really 1/8" material, I'll do a 6011 1/8. If I was trying to mow up something critical, sew up something critical, mow, because the guy over there is mowing and fucking up my video. If I was trying to sew up something critical, you know, I'm not going to use this little machine to do 1/8, but it will do it. Watch it. Alright guys, like I said, it'll do it. 1/8, 6011. It doesn't really want to. And it's cold, but if it's in a pinch, which you don't need it, you could just use 3/32. But I mean, obviously, you know, there it is. 1/8. Let's see. Got a little hole there. What? Shit. Right. There we go. This one I had to fill a hole. It was a little bit wider. Had a little keyhole in there and popped through, so I came the other way. But you can see it's real cold, guys. It's just not. And this is 1/8" steel, so you would obviously want to use just a 3/32, and it'll sew it up on this machine anyway. All right, but it'll do it if you need it in a pinch for something small, nothing important. Whoa, what's up, guys? We are back. Check it out. Listen, you can see the things over there. I didn't finish it yesterday. I got down to most of the welding. I was trying to beat the evening then, because I didn't want to get started till about noon, being in a neighborhood, and it's warm that time of day. It's kind of getting cool this time of year. But today I got started at like 8, just getting everything together, and then 9 I cut out the expanded metal. And you can see over here what I'm doing is I'm just taking these and tapping them in. But anyway, check this out. Straight All right, we're back. You guys saw me working on it a little bit. Let me show you some things. All right, guys, you saw me putting the taps in. Hopefully you can see those down through there. You'll see them later. I'm gonna paint it. I gotta go get some paint. You can see my welds. I didn't weld that, man. This shit ain't coming apart, and it's getting thrown away in a few months. I hate to see it go, actually. Yeah, 7018 with the little machine. Look at that. 7018. This is what I'm using to tap in, because they used a star bit and bolts, and they'll just unscrew that somehow. But they have to have a grinder with power to get that out. So I'm going directly into the brick with that, and they're not going to get that out, man. No way. Drilled the holes for everything, welded some tabs on the side. Boom. This is what's going to be facing them. Of course, it's going to be painted black. And I'm going to carry it in the trailer. I got to clean that out. But first, I'm going to go get some paint this, then clean the trailer out. So let's do that. Guys, what's up? Check it out. I didn't get to video anything because the city people came up and stood here the whole time we were working. And but the cool thing is we had an adventure. We got to go walk through this old Sears building. It's a big giant building. I mean, I'm going to do it no justice by showing you what I'm showing you. I mean, it goes on forever. We got to walk for a good 10-15 minutes just all throughout the building, yelling, "Get the fuck out!" and all that shit. There's my little lady in the background there. She came with me to help. She's running off. Okay. But look, so I didn't get to video any of that. I showed you the painting at home. But there's the door. It's covering the way. Nobody can get in and out. She was pretty impressed, the city lady. And look, let me just turn this around. I'm not gonna. All right, guys, there it is. Now you can see it's expanded metal. I got a few pieces of angle in there. They just fit, so I put them in there. And then that's 16th or 1/8 inch thick, long day. 1/8 inch thick square tubing, 2 inches by 2 inches, 2 by 2. It's welded on. I don't know if you guys saw the weld. You saw the weld yesterday, but check these out. My buddy gave me these nail in, right? I was worried about people. That was the only thing, man. You can build this big ass door, but if you got freaking just a star bit or a regular damn Phillips head, which is what they had on the wood, I mean, people are going to break it down every time. Somebody can end up with a screwdriver, but they had to grind that off. That shit ain't coming off. She said, "Can I test it?" I was like, "Well, yeah, you can run headlong into it. You're not gonna take that bastard down." Look at that shit. That thing is on there, guys. On there. I couldn't get that off if I wanted it. I mean, they'll have to grind those off, and they'll have to call me to do it. But the cool thing is, let me turn this back around so I can talk to you. We got her on camera. All right. So the cool thing is that the lady mentioned that we should register with the city, and if they have anything that needs to be done like this, they get a hold of me. So look, she showed up. It's kind of like annoying a little bit at first, but then she hooked us up with that. She was cool. She took us in there. She wouldn't have went in there on her own. She was gonna call the cops and get them to go, and I was like, "Well, can we do it?" And so we just went in there, man. She was like, "Thanks for being brave." I'm like, "Look at the size of me." And homeless people usually aren't that big. All right, guys. So we're gonna load up. I brought the trailer out for this one because we had to load it up in the trailer. But I'm proud of that. Ain't nobody getting in that. Dude was kind of worried. I'm like, "Are you serious? They would have to have a grinder, dude, and power, and 20 homeless people working together to get this off." See you tomorrow. All right, guys. Let's see if we can get this building. All right. See, look how far it goes, man. Look how old school that shit is, right? It goes so far, and this is just the old Sears building. But what's weird about it is it's got this little plaque in the yard over here. I was about to take off and I saw it. Over here. And it says, let me get to clean this off. In loving memory of Joseph F. Merlino. Huh. That's pretty. 1982. It's weird to be in I just wanted to memorialize Joseph because, I mean, they're going to sell this and they'll probably tear it down. So at least it'll be on a video. All right, guys. See you tomorrow.